Hi everyone, Jiu-Jitsu Cafe Podcast here again. Today with a Pakistan hero, purple belt genuine from Islamabad, Pakistan. If you haven't enjoyed us yet, please take your like, leave a comment, and follow us. Active the bell. You can be updated every time we do something new here. Okay, so let's get started. Oh.
This episode of Jiu-Jitsu Cafe Podcast is brought to you by BJJ Connections, connecting BJJ practitioners and athletes all over the world, including lifestyle, competitions, and much more. Follow BJJ Connections on social media for their amazing content. They are in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And this episode of Jiu-Jitsu Cafe Podcast is also brought to you by Cervical Kimonos. Action is everything. The famous gi brand in the UAE and Middle East. Also, they are all over Europe and shipping worldwide. Cervical Kimonos. Action is everything.
We usually start the episode asking where are them from, how you grow up. Can you do this?
Sure. Basically, I was born and raised in Gilgit, and which is like in northern Pakistan. And I was practicing traditional Chinese martial arts, kung fu over there, wushu. And then when I moved to Islamabad for higher education, I came here. I lived with my brothers, my coaches, who were currently my coaches, and I got done with my OA levels, and then I did my undergrad in computer sciences, and then we started training back in 2008 in mixed martial arts when the coaches actually. Basically, the coaches wanted to come up with such a sport. We didn't know of the sport of mixed martial art, and they wanted to come up with such a sport where we could kick and punch and take someone down and do everything all together. Since we were doing taekwondo and we were only kicking, and they just wanted to have to come up with such a sport. So they started looking online, and then they found the sport of mixed martial art, and they started learning about it. So that from 2005 to 2008, they did their all research, and they learned different arts, and they tried to actually mix everything together on their own as well. And then finally, when we started, from 2008, I became their lab rat, and they started experimenting on me, and started properly practicing and teaching as well.
Great. That's such an awesome journey. Yeah?
It was it's so surreal and unbelievable journey, because people used to tell us that this sport has no scope. Even traditional martial arts has no scope in Pakistan, but you guys are still practicing it. And now you're coming up with such a thing that no one's ever seen, and you want to go professional. You want to be a professional in this. So you guys must be crazy, and they always try to turn us down. But Alhamdulillah, today here we are. The entire country knows about us just because of this very sport.
Nice. I'm so proud. If you and your brothers don't insist, probably we never meet each other, right?
Yes, exactly, definitely. This is the beauty of the sport, that we've met amazing people like yourself, and we got the chance to travel across the world and get the exposure and get to know how things work around the world as well. It's not only about mixed martial arts for us now. It's about being a good human being as well, and it's about knowing and doing the right thing and delivering it onto the next generation.
Yeah, definitely. You said really, really well. I can't agree more.
Basically, of course, because when athletes have a layoff, we tend to get lazy at times. This was such a time that even if we didn't want to be lazy, we had to stay at home, and we had to kind of not train and not go close to other people, even if they're our teammates. But thankfully, where we live in Islamabad, we have our coach Atif, our jiu-jitsu coach. He lives really near us. He lives really close by, and there's other teammates of mine like Zia Mashwani and Ayub Khan. They live in the same building of the apartments as we do. So we would all just gather at their place and just just train and drill. But it's really difficult to stay motivated. But when I see guys like these, when I see guys like Zia Mashwani and Ayub Khan, trying so hard for everything, and even though they don't have that much of a skill set, but then whatever they have, they still make 100% full use of it, and they want to learn more, and they want to do more in life. That just keeps me motivated. And then when I see my coaches, Coach Ehtisham, Coach Sultan, Coach Atif, whenever I see them, giving so much to everyone, be it knowledge, be it any sort of help, whenever someone comes to them and asks for any sort of help, they're always there to help people. So whenever I see them, I feel the motivation is there all the time, and I don't have to look any further than my own circle. I see them doing so many amazing things and progressing every single day and helping others, and I want to be able to do that too. I know I won't be able to do it such a scale that they have done and they're doing, but I want to be a contribution to that. So that is what keeps me going every single day. When I wake up, I think of these things, and I just that just gives me instant energy for whatever I want to do in life. And especially in this time, we were stuck inside the house, but I still made sure that I put in the work with Coach Ehtisham, or we went upstairs. We had some mats laid on the floor, and we would just drill and we would just work. So just staying busy and staying active, and keeping on learning and keeping on growing. So plus I have a nephew now, so whenever I look at him, I feel like that he's the one that I need to provide for the most, and that's another motivation in itself.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
But Professor, these are the things that I've learned from people like yourself, and like I said, yourself and the coaches, that staying strong in the mind. That's it's something. It's something which doesn't. I believe that doesn't come to you just like that all of a sudden. That you feel like, okay, then you wake up the next day and you get strong. It's something that I've learned over time, through this beautiful sport. Of course, I still remember the first session that I had with you when we rolled, and that was the time when I was thinking that maybe I'm not good enough, for to roll with a black belt, and maybe I'm not good enough to even get graded or anything. So. But then again, at the back of my head, there was a little voice that kept on telling me to not give up and keep pushing. And all of that is because every day when the kind of training that we go through, or the kind of personality that we've been transformed into by our coaches, it's just that it has shaped us into something so strong mentally that I don't think anything can break our mentality, even if it's the virus, even if it's the lockdown, or even if it's anything in the world.
Usually, I try my best to spread what I got from martial arts, their BJJ or MMA. I just to spread it. when we meet is the first time I was trying to do that because that's my life.
True. I mean, of course, I'm not even any closer to half of your experience, but I could, it's just that it's just that whatever we learn in life, we always reflect that, and it shows that it shows through your character. I believe that we can tell, even if it's the way you teach someone, even if it's the way you treat someone. It just shows whatever you've gone through, and with so much experience like yourself. I mean, me saying anything would be not fair, but I mean, it's just it's all about the mindset. Of course, this mindset, this sport gives us the mindset, and then it's things like these that we learn from people like yourself, and our seniors, and we pass it on to the next generation. And I think this is what a legacy is all about.
So, and Uloomi, can you explain to us how you see and your thoughts about fight scenario in BJJ and MMA in Islamabad and even in Pakistan before, of course, this COVID thing?
Yeah. Well, I think before we had nice events going on. We had PGC, Pakistan Grappling Championship, and then we had small gyms who started their own events, and we had Flogger series that started. We had SFN that came into being, and we saw SFN happening, and it was such a huge success, and it gave a huge hope to a lot of fighters, who wanted to, because it gave the due respect to the fighters, the due credit, the due respect to the fighters that they deserve whenever they come in and compete. Doesn't matter what level they are at. It gave them a hope that, okay, we're working hard about something, so we're getting rewarded for that, we're being acknowledged for that, so they were really happy about it. And then there's Flogger series, which who conduct their events every 3 to 4 months, and a lot of guys get to fight there, and a lot of good guys come out of there, a lot of good talent comes out of Flogger. Before that, we had Fighting Alliance and Pack Fight Championship, but sadly those events ended as well. So it's just that we've had a great improvement in the talent pool because of all the events and everything, but the events are diminishing because everybody wants to. I personally think that everybody wants to input a lot of pay fighters. They want a lot of money and finances involved, which is why when they think of doing some amateur events or small events, they get reluctant, and they think that, okay, no, we should not have an event like this because we won't be able to pay the fighters, and we will not have a very lush, great, awesome lighting and cameras kind of an event. But it's still getting better. I hope that COVID gave the quarantine time gave enough community to think about coming up with more and more events in the fight scene.
Right. I was there in 2015 first time, and then I returned twice, and I see by myself a lot of improvements over your country. So glad to say that, because we know all martial arts is a long path journey, but when you see really in genuine improvements in 2-3 years, that means a lot, because that means in a long term you can get athletes all over the major world events.
Exactly, and I think it all comes from staying more active, because what happened, look at myself. I fought 2 fights 2 years ago, and then my previous fights were 2 years before that. So in the past 4 years, since July 2016, or since August 2016, I have fought only 2 fights. Fought in 4. And apart from that, before that, from 2011 to 2016, I've had almost I can't even count. I don't remember even at the top of my head, because I was very active. I kept on fighting every next event. There was a smoker event, I would fight. Because what would happen is Bashir would hold small events in his gym, small smoker, amateur smoker events, and he would just call Coach Etisham and saying, bro, do you have any fighters? We have this event in a day or two. If you have anyone, please send them over. And we would just, sit in a bus and go to Lahore and just fight and come back. And we were so hungry to fight. And even there are a lot of guys who are still hungry to fight, but we were not that we've still come a long way. And I think that the love for combat sport, be it jiu-jitsu, be it wrestling, be it mixed martial art, it is growing over the period of time. The viewership is growing. So a lot of new people are coming in. The old ones are, some of them have turned towards coaching. Some of them are still fighting, and it's just that the new people are coming in. The old people are training and teaching them, and they're growing, and which is helping the new people and the old people, both of them grow. So it's like a give and take thing, which is growing. And with the help of more and more competitions, I think we will have a very refined and a very huge talent pool. Will be ready. Right now, we hand for an event. We know, okay, this guy will fight in this international event, and we have like this guy who will fight in an international event. But I want, like, in the next 2 years, I want the talent pool to be so big that we should not be, we should be having local events to see who will fight in this big prestigious event. So yeah, I really hope and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And of course, after we meet each other, I start to watch each event as possible, even if I'm not in Pakistan, because sometimes it's hard to dealing with timing zone and this and that. But I try my best, that. And my favorite fight of yourself is Brave on Pakistan in Lahore. It's such a kind of a hero movie for me, Can you say for the people who was listening us, how do you feel being such a hero in your country, such a inspirational guy? I'm telling the truth from deepest of my heart, bro, because these attitudes, these commitment you have, and when you show that for the people who watching you over your country, it's kind of this, it's kind of being a hero, being a motivational guy. You like a character now.
To be honest, Professor, right before that fight, I was thinking to myself that I was taking a lot of pressure because it was such a huge event, such a prestigious event coming to Pakistan, and all respect to my opponent. He comes from a very good gym. They have multiple champions in multiple organizations in the world, and he himself has such an amazing record. He has a great record, and he's such a fearsome and ferocious fighter. I was thinking to myself that this could go either way. I mean, I was thinking either he's going to finish me or I'm going to finish him. And honestly, I don't even remember what happened in the fight because, as you must have seen in the probably halfway through the first round, I got knocked down, and the way everything happened, I don't remember anything that happened after that. Last thing that I remember from that fight was when my back hit the cage, and when I was trying to step back, and I felt like my feet were not underneath me, and I started running, which is when he started throwing big shots, and he caught me. And then after that, when I saw that when the first round ended, and the way I was engaging with the crowd and telling them to make some more noise, it's honestly the love of the people as well, which makes us do this even more. When we do something, when we achieve even our small achievements, the people in Pakistan, the people in Islamabad, the people in Gilgit-Baltistan, all these amazing people when they keep supporting us, when they keep on bucking us up, and when they keep on telling us that, you're doing a great job, you're an inspiration, my kids watch you, and my kids, loved your this fight. They were talking about this, they were talking about that. That makes us, not give up on anything. I had a couple of people who messaged me from right after my Brave fight. When I got back, I checked my phone. I saw there were a lot of messages, and there was one or two of messages that said that maybe it's time that you should retire and hang your gloves up. And I was thinking that almost 100 people have messaged me saying that you're a hero and you fought your heart out, and then these two people are thinking this. So that gave me another motivation, that all right, fine, 100 people love me, but there are these two people. So now I have to prove to these two people that I'm not out of it yet. So it's just that, a lot of the times we've seen a lot of celebrities give motivation, and they have their so-called famous motivational speeches where they talk about how they did not give up. Yes, life does that to everyone, but when you are in such a sport where you're literally getting punched in the face, your bones are breaking, you're bleeding, life humbles us down, and I think having that humble attitude is what makes people love us the most. And it's such a surreal feeling. I can't even tell you. I mean, every single day I get messages from people, and they say, oh, we just saw your fight, we just watched your fight, we just heard about you, or we just came across your profile, and we did not know MMA exists in Pakistan. People from overseas, people from different countries, and it just feels so good. And it makes me feel like, I could do so much more. It just adds to the potential, it adds to the fuel, adds to the fire. It acts like a fuel to the fire that I have inside me to fight. And it's the people that, keep us going. So we're doing it for the people as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm your fan, no matter what. And I sent you a message after that fight, and
yes, I remember
say that, right? So, brother,
yes.
You still in contract with Brave, right?
Yes, that fight was just a fight contract. They wanted to, because when I had my fight in Afghanistan and I lost to a controversial actual decision, they offered me a fight contract the very same night when we went back to the hotel after the fight. Coach Sultan told me that, Brave has sent you a fight contract, and they want you to fight next month. And I was ready, but it's coming off just walking out of the cage and coming out with a loss. I was angry as well, so I told him, I was like, it's your decision, just do whatever you want to do. And he said it's about contract. They're not signing you as yet, but they want to see. They've seen the potential, but they want to see how well you can do in Brave and if you can survive in Brave. So that was just like instantly clicked in my mind that this is my chance to prove myself to all the whoever thinks, because not everybody thinks very highly of someone who does something. There's always going to be haters, always going to be naysayers, always going to be someone who's going to try and put you down and who's going to try and tell you that oh no, you're not good enough. And I instantly it just popped in my mind that I was like, it's time, it's high time to shut all those guys up. And I agreed for the fight, which is supposed to be in Abu Dhabi in like 2 or 3 weeks time. But then I heard that they're coming to Pakistan, and then we had the fight, and right after that the officials came to meet me, and they were really impressed and they really loved the fight, and they said that we'd want to give you a contract in which you would be signed on Brave's roster. This was just your bout contract, and now we would want you to just actually sign with Brave. I did sign with Brave, and ever since I did not get any fight. I was ready. I was training in Thailand. I was trying to stay as ready as I can for even if they give me a last minute call. But nothing of that sort happened. And then eventually, recently, actually in July, they renegotiated my contract and we re-signed with them. And hopefully I'll be fighting real soon, inshallah.
Oh, That's great. That's great. Inshallah, will be very soon, bro. And you mentioned Thailand. I was thinking about that. Explain to people here how you get this Muay Thai fight over there on the country of Muay Thai, of course.
Yeah.
And you got the belt.
Well, it's a funny story actually, Professor, because I was supposed to fight an MMA fight in Brave, and I was training for that, but then somehow that did not happen. Like I had a verbal contact from the admin in Brave that they're looking to give me a fight. So I started, training for that, and after 2 weeks, I heard that they're not giving me a fight, and so I thought of staying active, I didn't want to get the ring rust all over again. So I thought I should, get in a fight, and I should go in Muay Thai and go get a Muay Thai fight. And I told I would like to give a shout out to my team Fairtex, because, they're my second home, away from home, like Team Fight Fortress. So they said that, okay, we'll get you a fight within 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll see, we'll gauge how you are, if you're fight ready and everything for Muay Thai fight. So I started training for Muay Thai. I was doing regular Muay Thai, and I heard that I was supposed to fight on the 10th of February, and on the 27th of January, I heard from from our boss there, from the owner of the gym. He comes to me and he said that everything is getting shut down due to the COVID, and the stadiums are shutting down on the 30th of January. So would you like to fight day after tomorrow? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. They gave me 2 days. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I mean, I want to fight, right? So it doesn't matter. It's 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months. It's a fight. So, and then he asked me, he's like, are you sure you want to fight in 2 days? I was like, yes, boss, I'll just, take the fight. I had an infection. I was on antibiotics, and I was in training for 2-3 days already. So he's like, all right, you're not training tomorrow, you're resting tomorrow, and then you'll fight day after tomorrow. So, we were good to go. And so when we went to the stadium, we did not know who my opponent was. So this guy comes up to me and he said, okay, we don't have a main event, so you fight the main event of tonight. And I was like, okay, no problem. He said, okay, you will have to fight 5 rounds. And I looked at him and I was like, all right, no problem, I'll fight 5 rounds. And then he goes back, and then he comes back and he's like, oh, okay, you're fighting for the belt now. And I was like, all of a sudden, for the belt? Okay, cool, no problem. And now I could feel that, there's something, there's something fishy or something wrong. Not wrong though, but fishy. So I agreed to it, and my coaches were like, okay, something is not right. So they went, backstage in the changing rooms, and they wanted to see what's going on. And then the promoter comes back again to me, and he's like, okay, your opponent has no fights. This is his first fight. And he's a 19-year-old kid, 14-year-old kid, so go easy on him. So I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. That's when I could sense that there's something wrong going on. Then he goes, and then he comes back again to me, and then he says, okay, no, he's 19 years old, and he's had like 5 fights. And then I had Anita with me, and she said, Bhaijan, what are they doing? What are they talking about? Why are they changing statements? So I was like, this is how it works in Thailand. You don't know who you're fighting, and all of a sudden you're fighting some champion. They're gonna keep lying to you. So, and then he went back, and then after like 10 minutes he comes back again. It's like, okay, no, your opponent is 21 years old, and he's had 19 fights. So they just kept making stuff up, and I realized that something is fishy. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I went backstage. They gave me the oil massage and everything, and warm up and taped my hands. And they gave us the fight poster, the fight card, and I tried to look at my, try to recognize my opponent. The problem was all of them looked the same, they looked the same, and I was like, okay, which one is this guy? Because literally all the fighters, they looked the same on the card, and I looked at I thought it was one picture, and I thought it was one guy who was fighting, 4 guys differently, and I got shocked. I was like, what's going on here? And then everyone was telling, well, that's your opponent, that's your opponent, that's your opponent. And I told a teammate of mine to go and check on this one guy that I thought would be my opponent. I told him to go check on him, and he went, and he was like, okay, who are you fighting? And he probably pointed at me, and he asked him how many fights he's had. And then they say that he's had over 60 wins and 20 something losses. So he had more than 80-90 fights, and he was fighting for the belt. Sorry, Professor. Let me just do this again.
No worries.
Yeah. So he had over 90 something fights, and he was fighting for the belt. So I realized it was going to be a tough fight. So I said, okay, no problem. So we jumped in. The fight went amazing. I had a lot of fun. I kept on pushing the pace. I wanted to throw spinning kicks. I wanted to throw axe kicks, and I just wanted to just fight my heart out. And when it went to decision, I thought that they were going to give him the decision because at times it happens that they get biased and they give the fight to the Thais. They don't give it to the Phalanx. So we were live on Instagram, and I looked at the camera that was live, and I was like, I know they're going to give it to him. They're not going to give me the win. And we went to the referee, and then when I heard the announcer announce the points, and I was like, okay, they gave me. One of the judges gave it to me. One of the judges gave it to him. That's surprising. And then when they announced the third judge, I was like, oh, what? Wow, seriously, they gave me the win. And it just unfolded so amazingly that I was like, okay, I won. I don't even know how to express it. I won. And that was such a great feeling because I had won something after 4 years. I fought in 2016. My last MMA victory was 2016, and I fought 2 fights in 2018 and back-to-back 2 losses. Keeping the BJJ competitions out of my mind. And I just wanted to. I had the urge to win something. I just wanted to win something so bad, and you can see that in the fight as well. The way I'm pushing, and even though I was tired, but I could feel that the antibiotics kicked in. And I could feel it in my stomach. I was like, okay, I will have to rush to the bathroom right after. But I kept on fighting, So yeah, I kept going on and on and on. And when that happened, I felt really emotional because I was like, okay, this is a big victory for me because I won a championship belt against such a sound guy, and that too after 4 years, I won something. So when I went back to the gym the next day. We went to hit pads in Muay Thai session, and the boss was there, and he patted me on the shoulder, and he said, I wasn't expecting you to fight that good, and he apologized from me. He said, I did not know that your opponent would be such an experienced guy. And I asked him if he heard about it. He said, no, your fight was live on the television. And then I got even more surprised. I was like, okay, wow, that's a great thing because I was on Thai national TV, people watching me fight. And he said the guy was really experienced, and he's like, I'm really happy with the way you handled him, and I'm really happy to sign you on the team. And then he started praising me, and then that was like cherry on top, the icing on the cake. So it all just was, alhamdulillah, everything went so perfectly and so smoothly.
Yeah, that's definitely the weirdest fight I ever heard on my life, for sure, brother, for sure. And I remember that I was at work, and I guess Anita make the live video on Instagram.
Yes.
And
yes.
I put one earphone on one ear and put my phone when people can't see. But I just look down, and sometimes I'm screaming, I'm doing something, I'm so excited with your fight, and people pass and look at me, and I'm here. I'm doing this. But at the end, I was taught like you. I said, "Oh man, on judge's decision, they don't will give him the belt." But I'm surprised as well when the third judge gives you. But it's fair enough because on Afghanistan, you already get robbed by your fight. Then you did a good job, and judges don't put their hands to avoid your belt.
True. I mean, the Afghanistan fight was, Professor. It was it taught me a lesson to not leave it to the judges. I learned it the hard way. He was grabbing the fence, he was grabbing the shorts, he put his finger in my mouth, and then he told the ref that I bit him, and that way the ref had stopped the fight, and he was talking to me, and the guy was, I had my butterfly hooks in, and the guy tried to pass my guard and throw elbows on me while I was talking to the ref. And when I told the ref that, he did this, he just pointed towards the judges and deducted a point of mine, and I didn't even know. He didn't even do it in a way that I would know that he deducted a point. So he just looked at the judges and he said 1 point, 1 point, and then he said it to one judge. Like, he did not stand us up and grab my hand and say 1 point. Did not make it clear. So I did not know my point was deducted. And every single time the guy was shooting in and pressing me against the cage, he was grabbing the fence from behind me. And my coaches were screaming at the ref. I was telling the ref, he's holding the fence, he's holding the fence. The ref didn't hear. So even with that, and then the point system that they had told us, they said that the administration of that organization said that if he takes you down, it's not a score. It doesn't count. If he has effective grappling or effective ground and pound, that is when he gets a score. Which is why whenever he took me down, I had no problem, because I knew that my ground game was better than him. I was getting back up. I was attempting for submissions, and I was trying to get back up. At just 1 point in the first round, he had my back when I easily took him off of my back, and and he landed takedowns and everything. But that was all he was doing, and he just hugged me for 3 straight rounds. And the judges, the admin had told us, the management had told us that that's not going to be scored in his favor if he just takes you down, because he's not doing any damage. So they were going to look for damage. I was active off of my back as well. I was throwing elbows and punches. But when they gave the decision, I was surprised, and I even asked the admin, and they were like, "No, we did not mean it in such a way." And that is when I realized that, okay, no matter what happens, even if it's someone that even if it's someone, a friend of yours, you don't just leave it just like that to the judges. You don't believe them. Always go for the finish and finish the fight. And I'm glad that things like these happen in life. I always try to learn from these things and try to get better for in every fight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because when you learn a hard lesson, you definitely don't do this again.
Exactly.
Even in fight or in life, doesn't matter.
True. There's no way that I'm ever going to try and leave it to the judges, or even if someone tries to take me down, I'm never going to stay on my back and attack. So I learned that the hard way. So that's all good for me now.
Yeah, definitely. Uloomi, I want to call a commercial break. It's very quickly. It's less than 1 minute.
Sure.
Just for people who doesn't know the show yet. On this commercial break, we will get our sponsors here. If you want to get in touch with them, they are in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Okay, guys. So see you in less than 1 minute. Oops.
This episode of Jiu-Jitsu Café Podcast is brought to you by BJJ Connections, connecting BJJ practitioners and athletes all over the world, including lifestyle, competitions, and much more. Follow BJJ Connections on social media for their amazing content. They are in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And this episode of Jiu-Jitsu Café Podcast is also brought to you by Cervical Kimonos. Action is everything. The famous gi brand in the UAE and Middle East. Also, they are all over Europe and shipping worldwide. Cervical Kimonos. Action is everything.
Hi guys, I said to you it's very quickly. We are here again with Uloomi Karim, the national hero of Pakistan, MMA pro fighter, genuine BJJ purple belt. And Uloomi, when we getting back for this quickly break, I usually ask my guests to get a game with me. I call that the game is 10 back-to-back questions.
Yeah.
To know a little bit more about you, but it's a lot curiosities. It's not some serious thing. But
Yeah.
sometimes the people who starting have this question in mind, and then I'll do this. Do you accept to participate?
Definitely. Would love to.
So let's get started. In BJJ, gi, blue, black, or white?
White.
Great. On MMA, red corner or blue corner?
Blue corner.
Why?
I don't know. I've had more wins in the blue corner.
Right. Nicest gym or place like arena you ever been to train or compete?
To compete, to train, it's Fairtex, Thailand. One of the best facilities in the world, in Thailand as well. The best arena, I would like to say two arenas. One of them, the arena for Brave, because of the way it was, the energy it had and the setup and everything. And second was when I fought in 2016 in the Philippines, the Smart Araneta Coliseum. It's a huge stadium where I was lucky enough to fight in the same stadium as Muhammad Ali fought. Shout out and represent.
Yes.
The great Muhammad Ali fought there. The Thriller in Manila. So yeah, these two definitely.
Awesome. Which kind of song you usually hear when you go to your training session?
I used to be in a band, and we used to play rock music as well. So we used to play rock music, not as well. Definitely, it's rock. It's just it just pumps the blood, and it just hypes me up for training and for fights.
Great. Your favorite food?
Oh, it's food itself. I have no choices. I'm not picky when it comes to food. I just love food. But if I have to pick one, I would say pizza.
Oh, that's great. The best thing you can find in a training partner?
Patience.
Your main goal in your fight life?
My main goal, to be remembered, to be remembered as someone who influenced a lot of people, who influenced the world. And of course, to be the first ever Pakistani to be in the world's biggest promotion.
And I know you'll be there very soon, inshallah.
Inshallah, Professor.
Favorite city you ever visit?
Favorite city? I would say Phuket.
Great. Nice
Phuket,
choice. If you are in Pakistan, in Islamabad specifically, winter or summer to training, and why?
Summer, because it takes a lot of time to warm up in winters. It's so difficult. It's like 2 hours of warm up and 30 seconds of technique work, and you're back to freezing. So it's definitely summer. Easy warm up, more work, more technique work, more drills.
Great. So, guys, 10-0 for Uloomi. He took all of the great answers. By the way, just a quick tip, guys. If you want to be in Islamabad, if you're never there, go on summer, please, because I went there on summer one time, and on another time, man, the winter is crazy. It's crazy, especially for me, old guys. Every time you get on winter, you remind all of your injuries: knees, neck, shoulder, elbow, everything. You remind. Back is the most. So, brother, about this, you have some injury you consider the worst ever had?
I've had multiple injuries, Professor. Like in a fight, what happened was once I had a fractured rib during the fight. The guy took me down, slammed me super hard, and jumped on top of me while slamming, and it kind of broke my rib. That was the first round. The third round, I managed to win the fight with an RNC. I would still not consider that as my worst injury, but my last MMA fight with Jeremy Pakate, when my eye got shut, my right eye got completely shut. The doctor said that I had 6 fractures in the orbital, 2 in the nasal bones, and one in the jaw, or maybe 2 in the jaw. Yeah, 1 in the jaw. That was the worst injury I've ever had. I mean, or the worst I've ever looked and felt, to be honest, in my entire career. So that would be it. Yeah, but gladly I had no concussions. I'm so happy when I heard the doctor say they did the MRI and the CT scan and everything, and then they came with a report. And the doctor comes in the room, and I asked him, I was like, do I have a concussion or something? Do I have any fluid in my brain? And he goes, man, what are you? He's like, what kind of a human being are you? What are you made of? I was like, why? What happened? Do I have a concussion? He says, no, you have like 8-9 injuries in your face, fractures in your face, like in your orbital, in your nose. I was like, I don't care about the bones breaking, because that's gonna happen anyway. Just tell me about a concussion. If I have a concussion, if I need to be worried about the brain. And he's like, this is exactly what I'm saying. Why are you like this? He's like, you have to be careful. And I was like, no, I don't tell me to be careful. So he told me that I could not. He's like, you cannot fight anymore. And I got scared. I thought he said that, my fighting career is over. So I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he's like, no, you cannot fight in this tournament anymore, because you cannot have any more fights in the next, for 2-3 months. I was like, oh, so you meant, sorry. So I said, oh, so you meant, 2-3, no fights in 2-3 months, which means after recovery I can fight. And if I even tried to train at the gym right after that, after 2 weeks after that, when my eye was fine, I could still feel the headache even when I tried to run. So this was possibly the worst injury I've ever faced, and I think I will ever face.
Right. Yeah, that's sad. But like you said, that's happened. It's fight life, right? And
exactly, it's part of the business.
Yeah, and here in Brazil, we have another joke about this. Fighters should be fight. That's it. Simple like this.
Yeah.
And, bro, if you don't mind, I want to ask you about your goals for 2020 and 2021 on fight scenario, BJJ, MMA, Muay Thai, whatever you want.
Yeah. Since more than half of the year has already passed, and it passed with so much inactivity, my goals for this year were to be as active as I could, be it in terms of fighting, be it MMA or anything. I could not reach that goal till now, but the year started off really great for me. As I mentioned, my Muay Thai fight, the first month of the year was amazing for me. I was happy, and I felt that, with the same pace and momentum, I was going to be unstoppable. But then, of course, everything happened, and we had to close the gym down and just move back home to the village. And I started working there at home. I started renovating the house. We painted the house. We broke down the entire bathroom. We built it all over again. And then we started building an underground water tank. So I felt like I was still being productive, despite of me not training. I was still training one of Pakistan's top up and coming and top boxers, Usman Wazir. I was helping him with his fight camp, because he's going to fight soon for his boxing championship title belt. So I helped him out with his training. There were a couple of guys who have started a gym there, who are soon going to be under the banner of Team Fight Fortress. So I went over and gave them some classes. So I felt like, whatever goal I had set, the generic goal that I had, which was to be productive, which was to stay active. I kept on doing that, regardless of me not being able to fight or not being able to train. At least I did something at home. I did something, I gave to the up-and-coming aspiring fighters. I helped and contributed in their career as well. So that gave me a good sense of accomplishment that I did not waste all this time. And now that I'm back here, two of my teammates, Zia Mashwani and Haider Sati, are going to fight. So we have their fight camps running. I'm training with them and I'm training them as well. I'm running their fight camp, and we're back up and running the gym as well. So I'll say my plate is full for now, and I'm having a blast. I'm having a really great time. But as far as the rest of the year is concerned, of course, going back to my second team, Team Fairtex, and then staying ready for whatever Brave has to offer for me. And if there's no MMA fight, then of course staying active in the Jiu-Jitsu competitions and BJ competitions, and staying active in the Muay Thai scene. And staying active in the Muay Thai scene, and just doing as much as I can, fighting, and hopefully getting my 4th tab on my purple belt.
Yeah, I wish that too. Because last time when we meet each other is right after your Brave fight, right? So we even can't train together. We just enjoy a little bit, but we can't train together. And I hope Balbi give you even the brown belt very soon, inshallah.
Definitely, I would be overwhelmed. To be honest, I want to be at such a level where I'd be smashing the brown belts of my level and then get my brown belt. Because I mean you've seen yourself the environment of our gym and how our coaches work, that we don't just get to the point and get the credit. We want to overachieve and then get the credit. So definitely getting that brown belt and then moving on to inshallah that black belt, that is the ultimate goal and the aim as well. So let's see how the journey goes. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm having the best time of my life, enjoying the BJJ and the MMA journey. So let's see how all of this goes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And if you want to go to TFF, guys, and you want to just show off, don't be there, because you get smashed, you get grinded, you never get back.
because our jiu-jitsu professor is all MMA oriented. So we don't do the lazy man, the easy guy jiu-jitsu. We don't believe in that. I mean, that's good for some people, for specific people, but our mindset is hardcore mixed martial arts mindset. And even when we do BJJ for it, we practice BJJ for MMA, and we make sure that whoever comes in front of us gets the taste of it.
Yeah, and that's the main thing why I been loved with the TFF at the first time. Since my first step through the door, I'm getting loved because of that, for sure.
Thank you so much, Professor.
And Uloomi, let people know your social media, please. And then, guys, I will put here on show notes if you listen on podcast platforms. If you are in YouTube, just check the show more. Uloomi Karim social media will be there.
Definitely, basically my name is pretty unique even for a Pakistani or a Muslim guy. So it's ULOOMI. Wherever you type it, you'll just find out my Instagram, my Snapchat, my Twitter, my Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Uloomi Karim Official, and there is my Instagram page on which you'll see colorful posts and colorful stories all the time. That's again at Uloomi. My Snapchat is the same. My Twitter is the same, at Uloomi. So and I would also want everybody, whoever's watching, to follow Team Fight Fortress on Instagram and Facebook as well, and support our local talent, support the up and coming fighters out of Team Fight Fortress.
Perfect. And you have some message for the guys from your team, for the guys from your country, and even people who want to start a martial arts journey?
It's I mean, it's the same for everyone, to be honest. It's all about hard work and consistency. It's about it's not even about the motivation, because whenever you're motivated, the motivation goes up and down. It keeps on fluctuating. um, and if you want to feel motivated, we don't have to look far from our own houses. um, we feel motivated. We look at our parents here and we see how hard they work. We look at our siblings and we see how hard they work just to make sure that we're doing safe, and we're in a safe environment, and we're doing good. They ignore themselves for that. So that's enough motivation for people who want to start training. I mean, fitness plus fighting skills plus, the best thing about this sport is that it teaches you what life is all about, which is exactly what I learned with the first time. Shout out to Fazal Bhai for always helping us. He was the first guy who came to Pakistan, and he started teaching us jiu-jitsu a bit. And he had put me in a knee and belly, and he was punching me in the face. And it just appeared to me all of a sudden. I was like, isn't this what life does to you? So much heavy on top of you puts you in a bad spot and keeps on punching you in the face. And then what options do we have? We either sit back and cry about it, whine about it, and give up, like tap out, or what do? We try to get up. We do a reversal. We try to get in a good position. We fight back. So this is what any martial art teaches us. Even if you're jiu-jitsu, even if you're in MMA, even if you're in, let's say, boxing, this is exactly what happens. That like everything's putting us down. Your opponent's trying to put you down, and then it's going to win. And then it depends on you how stubborn you act, and you don't let life or your opponent do that to you, which is exactly what comes in the discipline. So it's all about not giving up, keeping on working hard. I love my teammates. I see them work hard. Whenever I get lazy and I'm at the gym, I look at my teammates work hard. It just it fires me up, and it makes me want to work hard as well. And then I jump in there and I work hard with them, and then they look at me and they see, okay, this guy's working hard, so we've got to work hard to beat him. So this is why this is how we help each other grow. And I'm blessed and lucky to have such teammates. So again, the same message, that hard work and consistency and just not giving up.
Yeah, that's definitely the best message and the best advice you can give to us, bro. So
thank you.
My hero, my brother Uloomi, thank you so much. We are fresh up on time, unfortunately, because I want to be here with you for hours and hours, but we have time, and also appreciate you give us some of your busy time to talk about this.
Always here for you, Professor. Always here. Thank you so much for inviting me on your such an amazing and beautiful show, and at least getting a chance to see you, even if it's virtually, getting a chance to see you and speak to you after such a long time.
Yeah, that's all my pleasure, bro. That's all my pleasure. And guys, for who this t-shirt over here, I received with his sign. I don't know if you can see here. From my pack hero, Uloomi. Thanks for this gift I received in 2018, I guess.
2018, November.
And this is the first time I'm wearing this t-shirt. Wow. after you gave me this one.
I feel so honored. Thank you so much, Professor.
The honor is all mine, bro. So guys, stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy Uloomi Karim episode. Jiu-Jitsu Cafe podcast. Every week we have new episodes uploaded. If you follow us on Instagram, please give your like, send a comment. I reply every and single comment. And thanks again, Uloomi. Say hi for all guys in TFF. I miss you all.
Thank you so much, Professor. We all miss you too, and we really hope to see you soon, inshallah.
Very soon. Okay, guys. See you then. Bye-bye. Ooh.